The Great Fall, Stories of Wealth Lost. It was depression. I lost my son and daughter and didn't care about anything. Screaming every night to nightmares where I tried in desperation to save my children. I let everything go. Stopped managing my life and myself. I was unrecognizable. Banks and creditors took most of what I had. Money was nothing to me. Didn't care if I had to take the bus everywhere. Took over 20 years to recover my lost decades. At least I didn't fall victim to drugs or alcohol, though I looked it. I had a really good remote job. I was making 6 figures and really took for granted that income and the job market. I could have made a lot of smart choices, but I ended up embracing alcoholism. Lost the job, got into debt, several years of applying and starting and bailing out of positions. Finally realized how valuable employment is and got my shit together. Now I've held a good in-person job for 2 years and am trying to climb out of debt and gain sobriety. Shit falls apart slowly, and then all at once. All of my uncles were business partners. When the partnership ended, one of them managed to seize everything, leaving the rest of the family with absolutely nothing. Spouse's father sold a shipping company for $1 million back in the late 80s or early 90s and put it all in Enron. Not me, but a guy I went to school with. His family was stupid rich. His dad died when he was 21, left him with millions. He pissed it all away in 34 years. His mom squandered her share too. He still posts pictures of helicopters on social media asking if he should buy this one or that one. It's a little sad. BC, everyone knows he is broke and can't even afford a car, never mind a helicopter. My grandfather, mother's side, owned a large ranch. My grandmother became sick with cancer. He spent everything on treatments. Nothing worked. He lost everything trying to save her. They were left broke and heartbroken. Not me, but my parents. My dad owned a very lucrative business in the 80s and 90s, they were millionaires. He sold the business for a rather large profit and poured it all into an internet boom during the dot-com boom. He failed miserably, but didn't tell my mom. He sold assets and stole my mother's inheritance to keep up appearances. Within 18 months, we went from vacations in Hawaii, Disney, skiing in Colorado every year to my mom divorcing him and barely being able to keep lights on and food on the table. My time in high school was spent working to help pay bills, raising my brother because my mom was working 2 full-time jobs, and barely getting by every month. That being said, I'm glad it went down that way. That taught me so much and shaped who I am today. My grandfather made millions in real estate and had a yacht broker charter business in New England. Unfortunately, he was terrible about not paying his taxes. My parents also had a real estate company that was somehow connected to his. One day I was walking home from school, 4th grade, and my mom drove up in our Chrysler Volare, which was packed to the roof with our stuff. She said we had to go stay at my great-grandmother's farm for a while. I learned later that the IRS had seized everything, including our house. Overnight we went from owning a dozen sailboats, spending summers at the White Elephant on Nantucket, and all the toys we could ever want, to government cheese, green stamps, and Christmas at the local firehouse. Eventually my immediate family moved to a small teardrop trailer, parked outside a cousin's trailer, in Texas while we tried to put our lives back together. Lifestyle creep: one day you are fine, the next one you're drowning in payments for things you don't even need. The lesson in these comments seems to be, never trust an uncle businessman. Grandfather sold his Eastern medicine business in North Korea and bought large plots of land in North Korea thinking the Korean War would be over in a few years. Ran away from the communists to South Korea with nothing and drank himself to death. Tragic. Not in USA, but my late grandfather was apparently an accountant for one of the richest family and himself made a good fortune. One day there was a quarrel with family cook and my grandfather slapped the cook. My grandfather was fired, took his wealth and returned to his village. His house got robbed and later burnt down, jealous villagers. He lost everything and died in extreme poverty. His children and grandchildren continue to be extremely poor today, only I managed to study, by doing odd jobs on the side to fund my own education, and moved to USA. My mother says, that one slap, hit multiple generations. My dad inherited millions from an uncle who had no children and then bought a candy factory that was already failing. Instead of setting a limit for how much of his personal money he would invest to try and turn it around, he started personally guaranteeing the business loans, and so our entire family wealth got tied into it. He declared personal bankruptcy in 2006, and then the recession hit right after my parents sold the house to cover the remaining debts. My parents didn't pay off their personal debts and whatnot until 2022. Divorce, child support. You've been warned, but I do love my studio apartment. I mean, my grandmother, who had a net worth of $50 million, disowned my dad after a disagreement. In an instant, my siblings and I were transferred to public school, and we started living a very frugal life on my dad's household income of $150K. While $150K sounds like a lot, maintaining the assets before he got disowned required significant taxes. He also had substantial legal fees due to disputes with his brother who tried to reclaim those assets. Why not sell all his assets? He wants to give my siblings and I something when he passes, I assume. 15 years later, my dad and uncle are still suing each other. It's killing them both. Gambled 100 of KS on options, the hole just got bigger. Whatever I'd make would go into the next, double down. Took a job that restricted trading, as it would be conflict of interest. Each time I see my paycheck, which is a tiny part of what I lost, I lose a part of me, but bring myself back to the grinding horror that is my job. I'm thankful for the job, but that disgust, regret and the feeling of, if I could turn back time, never leaves me. Rant over.